It's a good morning if you're just joining us here on the show. This is Prime Morning. It's a Thursday morning here on News Flash. We're checking out the front pages of the newspapers, what has been reported, and then we'll get into major issues here on the show. Your thoughts, contributions, very much welcome. And you can send them on our social media. We're streaming live on Facebook. You can send them over there on real time. And also, you can do so by getting on WhatsApp and sending your messages over there. WhatsApp number is always on your screen. You can just drop in those comments over there. We have a lot to talk about today. As always, I've got the two political parties representatives here with me in the studio. Even before I get to introduce them to you here, I mean, on a Thursday, if you're an ardent viewer, I'm sure you have an idea who will be my guest in the studio. But a big thank you to Nutri-Snacks this morning for making it possible for us to get this conversation going. And we're grateful to all of you out there who've been patronizing it and enjoying it. It's very delicious and nutritious, and it's the reason why this Christmas season you want to get a bulk and give to special people in your life. It's pretty simple. Walk into any of the supermarkets, the shops out there, and say you're looking for Nutri-Snacks. You will get it, and you will never regret it, all right? So make it happen this morning. Those of you who are having your breakfast, if it's tea, you want to just get a bit of Nutri-Snacks to it, and just try, okay? Just try, and give me feedback when you do so. Big Chef Junior is coming. We're planning something quite exciting for you. It's gonna be back to back, and you're not missing any of that. And so please do well to watch out for our contestants. We'll be unveiling them to you in a matter of days, and you get to know what exactly they're bringing to the table. So they've got recipes that you definitely want to learn from. Make sure you do not miss any of the episodes. Indeed, if you want to have some very good cooking skills, all right? That's what it is. On Sundays at 7:30 p.m., we'll bring you the very best in the best. And I'm talking about the game show that gives you so much excitement and also makes you want to win some money for yourself. Last couple of days, we announced some of the winners. We spoke to them over here. You could actually feel the excitement and how very thrilled they are to be a part of that program. So you can also watch at 7:30 p.m. on Sundays. And guess what? You may just win yourself something for Christmas, all right? So make it happen and make it count. Our Christmas promotion is ongoing. We're telling you that all you need to do is to send us a picture of your family. Tell us, what makes your family, the unique family that it is. And then we invite you here a few questions, and you get yourself going on some very cool prizes that we're giving out here on the show. So you don't want to miss out. Christmas is here. It's just around the corner, and you want to make sure all the things you are giving to your family and friends, you're not spending on them. We want to spend on you, all right? So do well and be part of that. Pizza Man, Chicken Man is also making it possible for you to enjoy some deals, and I'm talking about some promotional deals this Christmas season. All you have to do is to just walk into any of our branches, buy from us, and you never can tell. You may just be on your way to even getting the food for free, all right? So, yeah, that's what it is. That's what we're doing. The Accra Kumasi branches is what we're talking about. So please do well and make sure this Christmas you celebrate with your family by just getting into any of our branches. Pizza Man, Chicken Man, it's really delicious, and this is where food lives. And it's very necessary that you also get yours at this moment. I'll be telling you some more. Afia Asantewa is also bringing something beautiful. I'll tell you about it in a couple of minutes. And also our very own Afia Nocturnal is also got a concert coming up on the 23rd of December. I'll tell you about that too as well. So there's more to share here on the show. Stick and stay. But we get into the newspapers this morning before we get into the major issues. But Manasseh is here with me. Manasseh, you good?
A very good morning to you. I'm good. And you?
I'm very well. And thanks. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Great. We have our brother joining us for the first time here in our studio.
Indeed. Let's listen to his comments.
And it's been riveting experience for him. He's just been looking around and comparing that to the other side.
Exactly. One.
Oh.
But I'm just amazed. I'm surprised. This is so appetizing. And I mean, I don't know what to say.
More adjectives.
All I would say is thanks to multimedia for the new studio. In fact, it's so.
You feel home, yeah?
Absolutely. I mean,
you're stuck with us, so that's fine. Anyway, I'm going to come back to you guys so we check into the issues we're talking about this morning. But let's go to the front pages of the newspapers. Daily Guide is here this morning, and it says digitalization eliminates corruption. AG tells UN, and Attorney General Godfrey Yabu Adame has been captured on the front page. And also, A breakdown of MIIF's investment in Atlantic Lithium. Page 2 has got a story on that. You can read about it. Minority chases POG governor's removal, and the minority are still bent on making sure that some issues are dealt with even before we get into 2024. And this time around, the year after, the Bank of Ghana's governor. We're hoping that, it's not what exactly we're looking at. The Kenneth Offerata situation again. NPP mourns Ama Busia, and away from that, Cecilia the Pass mates 5 others sweat over bail. And GCB Bank unveils enhanced mobile app. And so those of you who have not heard about the latest on Cecilia the Pass mates and the whole money in the home and all of that, well, that's a bit of info on that for you if you've not heard about it for a while. Uyala Arts and Culture Center nears completion in the Upper West. Kiddy raises bad fuel alarm. Again, this fuel issue this week was talked about here on the show. Rosalind spoke about it on the News Flash here this week, and it seems to be a serious issue right now. Kiddy's also raising an alarm on that one as well. Familia went into the same situation, and so it looks as if that the MP has a lot of work to do when it comes to that. 18 companies cut ties with Diddy, and PDD has been going through a lot with regards to a lot of women that are coming out to speak about some indecent and sexual assaults, alleged situations as far back as the 80s and then the 70s and all that. That's what it is. But let's see how some of these issues go. Now, Ghanaian Times this morning is reporting, and it says government plots new anti-corruption action plan in first quarter 2025 to replace NACAP 1. Attorney General speaks on that. NCCE rallies Ghanaians to participate in district-level elections December 19, and GCB unveils new mobile app. 2 policemen, 4 foreign nationals arrested for galamsey in Krokosia Hills, Dwabuso Forest. OSP prosecutes 4 corruption-related cases in court. That's the Ghanaian Times. So first one at the back page, real quick. Dualization of Kaswa Winneba Adentana Dodowa Rose begins in January, says government. And Vivo Energy donates surgical equipment to Kolebu Teaching Hospital. That's the Ghanaian Times this morning. The Daily Statement is here, and it says digitalization powerful in corruption fight. AG touts Ghana's efforts at UN, and Ghana to become center of excellence for medical care. President Akufo-Addo has been captured in that. GCB revolutionizing digital banking with recorded app. That's also something that you need to watch out for. Info Minister, government is fully committed to RTI. That says the Information Minister, the Honorable Oponga Nkrumah, also captured on the front page. Dr. Che Asamoah to contest Offensive North seat. That also captured on the front page. Rio Ferdinand leads United fans' anger wrecks my head. On some sports, Augustine Ahimfo not surprised by Mohamed Kudus' West Ham performance, and he seems to be doing extremely well for himself ever since he joined West Ham. And we wish him all the very best. May he continue to still, do the most while he plays for the team. Business Finder this morning says data of citizens critical. Let's address challenges. CJ and some other inside story you can check. 68% cut in wash sector funding. Water aid Ghana worried. Ecobank partners court private sector support for Zero Malaria Initiative. And that's the Business Finder. So we have the Dispatch. Let's get to read about the Dispatch newspaper this morning and check out what it's also reporting this morning. Okay, but even before that, the ABC newspaper is here and says, the President, Mr. Speaker, and the witches. That's captured on the front page. Implementation of RTI on course, Oponga Nkrumah says so. Discussions on lithium leave the experts to enlighten us. And 10,000 businesses, 20,000 youth to benefit from business and employment assistance program, says Bawumia. And that's the ABC News this morning reporting on that issue. Okay, so that's going to be all we have Okay, so let me get the dispatch over here. I think that's been projected here. It says that please ensure peace in Boko, Baumiatu, Mamprusis, and Kusasis. GRA wins 39 million Ghana cedis case, and I will announce my running mate in 2 months. And it has the former president John Mahama, Julius Tebra, and Professor Nana Ajman captured on the front page, as it's suggesting that it's going to be one of them. All right. NDC's victory in 2024 not assured, NDC Guru says so. With regards to this, the NPP is also yet to actually do so. Dr. Baumia met the committee and said he needed more time to be able to settle on who exactly he wants to be his running mate. And so, Lucas, the running mate issue is not going to end now. 2 months, I'm sure, hopefully by January, or February, we're going to have him announce that. And, I don't know what you're guessing, but we'll get there. We'll get to find out, because the running mate is as important as the president himself in this day of Ghanaian politics. And so, if you're putting your running mate out there, you should be very careful who you put out there, because eventually that person should be able to, gather the kind of support that you would need to become the president when the time comes. Anyway, let's get into it. So Manasseh Atabwine is the government spokesperson on the governance and finance, representing the NPP. Richard Amanurebe is national communication team member for the NDC. And these are our family that we have over here anytime we get to have conversations around politics. And so, you can send your messages to us. Our WhatsApp line is active, and also on our streaming platform. We're live on Facebook in real time. You can send your message over there, and we'll read from you as we progress. This morning, we're looking at school placement. 2023 records highest enrollment despite challenges. Education Minister says so. We'll be also moving on to minority plans to actually kick against a 7 billion Ghana cedis tax waiver that the government is intending to implement. We'll look at that. Mahama also hits back at people who believe that the 24-hour economy policy is not something that, will work. And also, a lot of people believe that, the NPP believes that it's already working. Mahama says that, yes, he accepts the fact that some parts of the institutions or some people are making it work, but he wants to see it, in a broader view, a broader perspective. And so we're going to be looking at that also. But in the words of the Education Minister, Dr. Yao Osei Edichim, he says that 81% of students were actually automatically placed in their selected schools, with 19% depending on self-placement. So it means that the ministry has placed 95% of 2023 junior high school graduates into various high schools that they selected. And, he made this announcement when he was in Kumasi. Otumfuo invited him to give an account of what exactly has happened with regards to the Ashanti region when it comes to the free SHS. And he gave this account to him. So we're going to be looking at it this morning. We'll start off. Manasseh, let me begin with you.
Right. A very good morning to you. A very good morning to our cherished viewers. Richard, good morning. And let me say... Let me say...
That's a special greeting.
Special greeting. He's my brother, so I have to be special in greeting him.
The end will justify the meaning. Let's get on with that.
And a very good morning to His Excellency, the Vice President, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is the flag bearer of the NPP. And with him, we are confident we are going to win the 2024 elections. Let me also greet my boss, Honorable Kojo Oponkruma, Minister for Information and MP for Ofasia Yerebi. And I also want to congratulate him on the wonderful and fantastic work he's doing at the Information Ministry. Yesterday, there was a public forum on the implementation of the RTI, and there were some insightful revelations that were made. And so I say a very good morning to him and to the Deputy Minister for Information, Honorable Fatimatu Abubakar. KMJ, on the issue of the school placement, it is very refreshing indeed to know that thus far, we've been able to place 95% of the junior high school graduates into the various second cycle institutions, in spite of the various challenges, associated with the school placement system. And you realize that the Ministry of Education did things differently this time around. They ensured that they allowed the graduates to select more schools. So that should it happen that you are unable to secure your first, second, or even third choice, you would have the opportunity to be placed in other schools as well. And so I think it is very much an improvement of the previous situation, and it is something we always do aspire for. It is not surprising that even given the short period within which students were allowed to go to school, you would find a lot of them being in school because, I mean, the prospectus again was released quite earlier to allow parents and students.
Is it not the situation of they don't have a choice?
No, not at all. You see,
That's against
so the prospectus
a system that is running smoothly, and so I have to be on campus.
So the prospectus was released quite earlier to allow parents to prepare their wards to go to school, and thankfully.
And we still had a lot of parents also complaining.
Today they don't pay school fees. Free. It's free. Unlike in the previous.
Are you aware some students are not still in school?
I'm aware. So that's why the education minister mentioned we've been able to place 95%. So we still have some few numbers that are very significant. We are not saying we are going to downplay those who have not been placed thus far. It is very important, and I am aware plans are far advanced to ensure that those who are still not in school would also get the opportunity to go to school. And so I think the Ministry of Education has to be commended. And going forward, we are very confident that given the significant strides we have made as it relates to the school placement system, we are sure next year, at the first instance, we'll be able to ensure we are able to enroll almost all the graduates into the various second cycle institutions.
Very well. Richard.
KMG, I say good morning to you, and good morning to your sheriff viewers, and good morning to my good brother, Manasseh Ataboy. It's a twin. So it's called Manasseh Ataboy. And then
are you reminding him, or
yes,
you are letting our viewers know that he's a twin?
Yes, because you know, I've always said that my father have 4 sets of twins. So I live in a family of twins. So the moment you are a twin, like yourself, you're all my brothers.
Yeah.
So,
so in this instance, were you reminding him that he's
yes,
a twin?
Yes, so I am.
Or you are telling our viewers that Manasseh is
I am reminding him he's a twin. I am reminding you are a twin.
Viewers are aware you are also a twin.
Yeah, but most of them know.
Right.
And so I'm the Uncle Tevia. And a good morning to the good people of Nkwanta constituency. And Kim, let me use this opportunity to say good morning to the incoming President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who is bringing hope to the ordinary person, who is bringing hope to the people.
So there's incoming here,
No, but he...
Which was the incoming?
He is talking about outgoing for a vice president.
I'm talking about
he's talking incoming former vice president.
You are aware.
And President John Dramani Mahama coming back to power in 2025. KMJ, let me assure you that I know the challenges you are facing as a media person. I know the way you've been hiding around when you're close from work because the media freedom have been submerged.
He never hides. He lives very low. He works freely.
I want to assure an ordinary woman in market today that who is going to sell his tomatoes. Now they have to even go to the Burkina Faso to buy tomatoes that he used to buy. A carton of tomatoes of 3,000 today is about 12,000. I want to remind the yam seller that now that this foodstuff is rotting in the bush, that President John Dramani Mahama have every ordinary Ghanaian at heart. President John Dramani Mahama is going to revamp the economy. But the CKMG, before we talk about this education, President John Dramani Mahama is coming to build the Ghana we want together. You understand? We are building the Ghana we want together. Not only him sitting at the presidency and shilling corruption and making a loamy soil of corruption, mother shepherd of corruption, he's building the Ghana we want together. And wanting together, we will never let Manasseh sit at home. We will involve him in building the Ghana we want together. In the aspect of economy and finances, an expert in it. We will call on you in the aspects of media to come and help, and myself will come be at the presidency. Or be at
we've had this before.
So we're going to come together.
This is not the first time we're hearing.
So we're going to come together as Ghanaians.
Richard.
No, so maybe that is what you heard.
We have had this.
That people
we're building a Ghana. We are all together. We're building a Ghana. Everybody will contribute. We're building a Ghana. Everybody will be happy. This is something.
We promised a better Ghana before, and you got a better Ghana. And then people came to promise you free education. One they said one factory, one village, one dam, one boy, one girl, one person, one accountant, and whatever it is, and you didn't get it.
So the 4 years.
And then we are saying that we are not building a Ghana we want together. That we are going to involve the market woman, we are going to involve the farmer, we are going to involve every ordinary Ghanaian, even people in diaspora. So that's why sometimes I am worried when we have issues of placement, because in the next 3 years, These students will be graduating from secondary school and going to, because we're building 6 new universities. And this 6 universities is going to be based on technical and vocational education. Recently, I heard in Parliament, one of the NPP MPs even raised a concern that we should look critically into technical and vocational education. That's why President John Dramani Mahama, after making sure that we're going to put a free TVET across the country, all the schools, not the selected TVET schools. Then from there, we now build 6 new universities. So we will need these students to occupy those classrooms. We will need these students to make sure we will train them technical and vocational. Some of them are going to go into apprenticeship programs. So when you have issue of education, I always want to support it, because very soon, if you are not very careful with a 24-hour economy, we will lack labor. We'll not have to go to Côte d'Ivoire, we'll not have to go to Burkina Faso and go and look for people that will come and help build our economy, because there's going to be enough job for the youth, there's going to be enough job for every category of human being, whether person with disability, whether ability, and whatever it is, we're going to get a job. So when we have issues like this, I want to address this and not be political on the placement of the schools. KMG, I didn't even say good morning to the good people of Nkwanta, so I will be very bad. It will be very bad.
You did.
I didn't do.
I had
that storage, because Nkwanta and Otiri is always at heart in my heart. So always.
You already did.
Yes, so I will.
You have a spirit of forgetfulness.
Yes. So Kemji, the placement issue, I have always said that the Minister of Education and the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Education Service is a very critical role in this country, and building a robust economy and making sure that as a nation, when you don't invest in education, you don't invest in agriculture, you don't invest in health, then it means that you are doomed as a nation. So I heard, read the minister's statement when he went to meet Otumfuo to give an account of what education has had impact in Ashanti region as he became a minister. Educhum is from Ashanti region as well, so I don't know if that is why the chiefs and the people in Ashanti region call him to come and account, because a lot of sectors of the economy, the Ashanti region is complaining that they have been neglected. Everything now goes to Chibi. So since he has given this account, I think it's quite refreshing. It's quite 95% placement of the students that have been placed automatically, that have been placed, that got a placement in the school placement system.
The automatic one is 81%.
Yes, it's quite encouraging that 95% of the students who wrote BEC have access to education. It's only 5% that doesn't have access to education. So this 5% is going to add up to the National Statistical Service of the 1 million youth who didn't have formal and informal education. You know that. Because 5% of them. So I will urge and believe and hope and tell the minister.
Manasseh says it's something they're working with.
So to tell the minister to quickly make sure that the 5% should also get access to the school. And the minister also talked about the 81% of automatic placement. I think that in any examination that you write and you get about 50%, that is a pass mark. And 81, if 81 is true, I don't believe this government. But for Dr. Edichon, I know he speaks the truth. So 81% automatic placement. I think that it is also something that we have to commend the government for that kind of a particular model. 81% have got automatic placement. From President Kufuor's time, through President Miller, through President John Dramani Mahama, to Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, when Napu was Minister of Education, that even there was total mess in the educational sector there. And now that the Duchuma has come, and it's telling us that 81% automatic placement, as it stands now, I will comment that, and let's hope that there's improvement in our placement center. There have been challenges since day one. My time, we didn't have placement. Myself and you go to notice board and check our names and go. And one thing that government have also done that they did the harmonized prospectus the moment your placements come, you get a prospectus. Because I recall when I was at Boem, I attended Boem Secondary School in Jasikai, but I live in Nkwanta. I have to come to Jasikai to come and pick my prospectus, go back to Nkwanta, and then buy my things before coming back to school. It's quite stressful.
Yeah.
So when you have this kind of harmonized system that you just pick up your prospectus and then you go in and buy your things before you now come to school, is one thing I also have to commend the Minister of Education for, and commend the Minister of Self-Placement. I think that is where the problem is. The self-placement, the 19% of the Ghanaians that got self-placement, you saw what happened. The Minister also admitted that even though there have been challenges in the placement system, but 81 was quite smooth and automatic placement. But the 19% of the people that got self-placement, okay, you can just get in touch with Ghanaians, ordinary Ghanaians, that their children went for the self-placement, and you will tell you the kind of guru boys that were around, the kind of party boys that were around, taking money and then making sure that they take something before they will do placement. Your media has, multimedia and other media has, I've done a documentary on it. So the people pay a swooping amount of 5,000, 20,000 to get their children being placed into the school. That is quite unacceptable. So this 19% was allocated for the party people to make their avenue from it. And it's something that we must look at and make sure that it stops. It's not the best. And I told Benassi, you have the opportunity of speaking to the minister. I don't have access to him. You have the opportunity of speaking to the president. I don't have access to him. Because we have only one time to do placement. It will never happen again in the MPP. Because after next year placement, they are not going to do placement again. President John Dramani Mahama, the next Minister of Education, will be appointed by President John Dramani Mahama will do the next 2025 placement. So you will be out of the placement. So 90%, I would want to hope that the next election, because next year is election year, maybe you will increase the number. I want you to reduce the 90% to at least 0.1% of the people to do avenue. Because it is clear that a lot of people also have to pay a lot of money to get their children or their ward being placed into schools that they want, be placed to get a self-placement, which is quite unacceptable because the current situation we are, Benassi will admit and agree with me that times are very difficult. And for people who have to go and get money to get their children being placed in schools, and something you say it is free, you have to pay. But in as much as all these things has been done successfully, and you say students are in school and they've started school, I think they are going to do only 2 weeks and then come back home. But what is so amazing is about, after the minister have done the job and decided to his subordinates in the secondary schools, the prospectus issues that happen, the corruption that after they say it's free education, that I agree the government is doing free education because President John Dramani Mahama started the progressive free education, building us e-blocks and making sure that we widen the status quo and make an enable environment for every Ghanaian to get access to education. That's what we started. And building up about 125 community senior high school, even though we promised 200, and 50 was also open, and that's where they are now using as their classrooms. But then if you go to the headmasters, most of them has taken illegal money, I think you are aware, illegal money to make sure that a student get access to school. And if you look at the prospectus that allegedly that, because of that there have been interdictions, students have to pay enrollment fee, they have to buy fuel for headmasters, they have to pay for boiler fee, they have to pay for entertainment for headmasters, they have to get headmasters, they say the motivation fee and those things is something that you have to also look at. It's the challenges we are facing as a nation. Because I've always said that I've known a woman who sells yams in Pasar Market, and this woman has been struggling all along his life. And when he was going back, the ward got a placement to school, he goes there, you have to pay 20 million. That's 2,000 Ghana cedi in additional prospectus. So look at this, a poor lady who is selling and nobody is even buying. Now the inflation and other things are skyrocketing. Doesn't have enough revenue. Interest rate is high and he can't even go for loan. And his money, the little money he has to be selling yams, have to now use this money to go and pay a headmaster for additional payment for the ward to get to school. People have raised concern. A lot of people will even go to school. Additional prospectus about 5,000, some 2,000, some 3,000. And there's a woman who made a concern to me, and this thing I have to share with you. And it's so sad. Excuse my language. On
the same school placement.
On the same school placement. She said, look, he called me honorable. I said, honorable, I do prostitution. And that's what I do to earn a living, because since I've completed school, there's no job for me. This is what I do to earn a living. And with all these things, they pay me a little money for my prostitution. And at the end of the day, my ward, which I want him to stop, to also not get involved in my situation, to also not to be like me tomorrow. When I was going to pay to this in the prospectus, the headmaster gave me additional 7,000 to pay.
Which place?
Which school? Yeah.
Where are we talking about?
No, that's what she mentioned. He didn't mention categorically the school.
Which area?
In Accra here. In Accra here, yeah. Then she
and the woman didn't mention the school.
For what? Additional for prospectus. That she was going to. The headmaster said they should buy fuel for him. Which you are
you didn't ask the woman about the school?
No, I'm coming. At least he was I also heard Joy News. I think Joy FM also made a documentary, and then people phone in, and some of them said major schools like Bishop Eman and other schools that they have to pay a lot of money before.
But you have a classical example that you don't have details.
No, this is the concern the lady raised.
That's the only way that we can verify.
And then I've also known
the woman is raising.
I've also known a woman who also even quote, I know her very well. She's a cripple, excuse me, and that's the fact. She's a person with disability. She sells granules. She buys these granules and sells 5 CD, 2 CD on the table. And this woman, the world has gone to school. She needs to pay additional prospectus of 2,000 Ghana cedi. And the city and tell us that it's free.
Rachel has known about 3 women this morning.
So this is the situation.
All have similar issues, but
so this is the situation in which we are. I am saying that the placement is good. I am saying that it is important we do placement. But after placement, the matters arising that people are taking the situation to dupe the poor people in Mbunkurugu, to do the poor people in Walawale, to do the poor people in Potopo, Alagakwa, and Bonache. That has their whole end money is about 1,000 cedi. They need to go and borrow more to go and pay additional prospectus to the school. So I want to urge the Minister of Education. I've saw interdictions on that But you see, the major problem of this thing is that, you know, and Menasi knows that most of the headmasters in these secondary schools has lobbied through politicians to be there. And some of them have been politicized. I know most of the headmasters who are constituency executive of the MPP, and they have been put there to be compensated. But because of the corrupt aspect of the MPP and the government, because from the head to toe, the corruption is happening. And so everybody wants to steal. And at the end of the day, it has now boiled down to senior high school students and parents that are even not be able to afford a 3 square meal a day. This is what is happening. But I want to urge the parents and talk to them this morning. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC, to be honest with you, is very worried with this situation. And we are taking a critical look at it. I want to advise them that they have very soon, when President John Dramani Mahama comes, this free education thing, we're going to do a proper review and put mechanism that every son, every ward will get proper quality and free, nice education that will build up the capacity of every individual, that will make a better Ghana, build it up to one together, and tomorrow, again, you will not sit here and then discuss issues or disparities when it comes to placement.
Very well. We're going to our next issue. I'll try and see if we have a few comments that we can read, so we can move on to talk about the tax waiver that the minority is planning to kick against, and they believe that it's a waiver that will not help the country. It would only benefit a few, a selected few, and so it is not something that they would agree to. Now, this one says, good morning to your good self and your panelists. NPP government has collapsed our education system. It was shocking to hear the Ministry of Education asking students to report to schools for only 3 weeks in these trying times. A parent asked me to buy prospectus for his ward, and it cost 4,500 Ghana cedis to buy only prospectus. Where is the free education? It is a complete scam. Manasseh himself knows the Ghanaian economy is struggling from incompetency of its managers. Why should the Nanado-led NPP government run Ghana as a chief palace? Colleges of education students went to school for 6 weeks, went on break for 3 months, and later returned for another 6 weeks to complete a semester. NPP has no respect for education. They should respect Ghanaians for once. Ghana is not a one-man or a family state. Lapin Kelvin, student politician of the year from Dambai.
This name is Elapin.
Elapin.
Yes.
Okay, from Dambai.
From Dambai, yeah.
Okay, Dambai College of Education. You know that place very well.
Yeah.
You know him?
I know him, yeah.
Oh, you know him?
I know him.
Okay. Good morning, KFG. The success of free SHS is not about the process of entry, but how we are able to support and encourage heads of SHS to run the schools, not to make stop aside as a tool of running the schools. Philemon from Jirapa sent in that one. Jirapa seems to be getting the attention of the couple of days, especially with Siedo's appearance there as well. Assalamu alaikum, honorables. 2024 is done deal for JDM. How can we vote for Professor Liar to come and deceive us? 24-hour economies are waiting for Ghanaian under JDM 2025. Inshallah, Samuel Usu, Braku, NDC, and PC, and JDM for Achiasi constituency. Mohammed Zanel Abidin, Zongo Kokos Achiasi constituency, sent in that one. Another one over here says, good morning, KMJ and panelists. I want to say a very big thank you to Honorable Richard Manuribe for the good work he's doing for NDC and the mother Ghana, for always being there to lift the veil for the good people of Ghana to see the real truth. We are solidly behind you and NDC. Justice from Nkwanta. Do you know this one too? Okay. That's
my constituency.
That's your Nkwanta people, showing themselves this morning. Yeah. All right, so let me try and get this one, and probably we'll just go on. This one says, hi, host. The crisis plaguing our educational system only shows that the managers lack critical thinking to manage such a sensitive institution. The wholesale free SHS project started without any policy document, piloting and no consultation with stakeholders because these politicians think they are more intelligent than everybody, including the teachers and professors who taught them how to read and write. Teachers who try to advise them are insulted or victimized through postings to remote villages. Indeed, those arrogant politicians don't learn from their abysmal performance, but they continue their comedy of errors, confused academic calendars, double-track system, lack of furniture, shorter contact hours, and wholesale promotions because these politicians don't have their children in the public schools. Enough is enough. The Minister of Education must go to save our educational system from further crisis. All right. This one says, good morning. The MPP are very good in changing names. Now, do you know the school fees is called levy? And that's Derry sending that one in there. All right, so how is that a levy? Levy as in what? The NDC guy is really good. Is really a good storyteller. The least opportunity the NDC wants to unduly criticize the free SHS. Additional prospectus of 7,000 is a lie. He should tell us the schools. Yeah, sent in that one. Interestingly, Richard has refused to tell us the schools. Good morning. Please tell the NDC man that former President Mahama is not new to Ghanaians. He has been the president before, and we went through a lot of hardship, doomsday and unemployment. His 24-hour economy is not feasible because from where I stand, it will only somehow benefit the southern sector because that's where the factories are situated. Mahama is only having 4 years to run, which I think is too small to bring change where we have gotten to as a country. Mahama is not a good candidate. Rudolph from WA sent in that one. Pretty much that will be our messages. But Manasseh,
KMJ,
let me begin with you on the issue of the minorities' plan to kick against the tax waiver. And they believe that it's going to benefit some selected few, and so it's not something that they want to see come to pass.
Yes, KMJ, even before that, I just want to share some few thoughts on the objections that were raised by Richard. First,
you have to be quick for me, so
sure,
we'll move on to.
So the 19%, most of the graduates who fall within the 19% have been placed, self-placements, and we still have few numbers. And I want to assure him that it wouldn't be the case that the less than 5% will be left to become school dropouts. They will be fixed in the various secondary schools. And you see, it is not true that we have changed the name of the free SHS, secondary school being free, and now we are levying it. That is not the case. Secondary school is free. It is entirely free, just that as it relates to prospectus and other things you are going to use for your own self. You do not expect the government to pay for your underwears and your basic stuff that you would have to use in the various boarding houses. I want to mention that in spite of the numerous challenges we have had in the various second cycle institutions, it is very instructive for us to know that we have experienced massive improvements as it relates to the school placements. Because when you compare the data from the previous years, even from 2010 to this time, you realize that we have recorded lower levels of, students struggling to get placement with the around 5% or so. And so it is very, very instructive for us to know, and I am very confident that going into next year, we will be able to ensure that we drive down these numbers. Then, Richard, maybe when we come to the 24-hour conversation, I will share my bite on that.
Okay.
But on the issue of the minority raising objections as it relates to the tax waiver, you see, I am very much aware that there are a lot of institutions and even companies that are seeking to set up various factories and industries in country, and they are going through the administrative procedures. Most of them have their documents tabled at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, and they are awaiting some engagements with government, some tax waivers, and all of that. And these are standard procedures. It has to be stated clearly that the allegation the minority is making, raising statements without facts, palpable lies that these are just for friends and cronies, and they are unsubstantiated. The fact that we have a lot of institutions, a lot of foreign direct investments waiting to be invested doesn't mean these are things that we know to the benefit. Why don't they mention people? If the minority thinks that as per the kind of tax waiver that is being handed to Parliament, if they think that they've been able to identify some individuals in government who will be benefiting from this directly, they should name names, they should adduce evidence to these facts. They speak without any scintilla of evidence, and they just throw dust into the eyes of Ghanaians just like that, creating the impression that for you to draw foreign direct investment would have some correlation to you benefiting from it. That has never been the case. And it is not possible for you to have a foreign institution, even a local Ghanaian company, if a local businessman wants to set up an industry today, without you granting the local businessman some kind of incentives, it will be very difficult. As it relates to the person importing machines and other technical advice and all of that, these are things that government is very much interested in. And so we sit down with you and we ensure that we are able to assist these institutions and even these businessmen so that at the end they will be able to set up factories and industries in Ghana to help reduce the volumes of unemployment we are always complaining about. And so sometimes when we hear the objections from the minority, without facts, without evidence, and they just make general statements, to the false effect that because we are seeking to, pass a bill in Parliament that would allow some tax waivers, that connotes that someone is benefiting, then it is indeed unfortunate. If they feel that, they should feel free to name people. They should provide evidence so that together we would go through and find out for ourselves whether indeed it is the case that someone is benefiting from these things. Otherwise, we want to be very, very objective in our conversations to ensure that the various industries, the various factories and industries that we have built, and the various requests we continue to have from foreigners and even our local business people as it relates to setting up factories and industries will be achieved. I mean, when we were having the conversation around the 22 items, that's the Honorable Minister for Trade and Industry sent the bill to Parliament and all the conversations around it. It was quite surprising, the position of the minority. At one breath, you would find it difficult to understand what their intentions are, whether or not they seek to promote the high rate of importation, and whether or not they are really concerned about the Ghanaian people to ensure that government is able to restrict, not to completely ban, but to restrict the importation of some of these items, so that by doing that, we'll be able to allow and expand our local industries and factories to produce some of these things. And so it makes it very difficult for us to really...
As usual, this is another strategy to make government work difficult. That's what you see.
Beyond that, I do not find any constructive criticism in what the minority is saying at all. Because because I don't like you, because Richard is from NDC, I can make unfounded statements against him. I'm saying I can make unfounded statements, wild allegations, without any scintilla of evidence, and that in most instances might not even be true. That's why I'm saying, for us to ensure we are able to build the Ghana that we want, it will be very, very important for us to raise objective criticism as it relates to the tax waivers that government will have to grant to some of these institutions. It is never possible. No one will do it. And don't forget that when it comes to investment, Ghana has been positioned well enough. Even with the African Continental Free Trade Area, you realize that when it comes to Africa, Ghana stands tall as it relates to even peace, security, and even foreign direct investment and all of that. And so it is not surprising we have a lot of foreign investors and even local investors, even African investors, wanting to create businesses, industries, and factories in the country, whether we like it or not. We would have to sit around the table with them and have conversations with them as it relates to the kind of help government will be able to offer to them. And this has been something that has been done throughout the period, unless the NDC want to tell us that when they were in power and when, as at the time, they placed the restriction, even on the importation of frozen meats, they were using this for corruption purposes, which most of the time isn't the case. And so we want to be fair in our conversation to ensure that we are able to create an enabling environment to ensure that we are able to attract, foreign investment. And most importantly, when you look at the local content, portion that this government has been championing in ensuring that even when we allow foreign investors in, we will have to engage a lot of our local contents in whatever they are producing to ensure that at the end we have a lot of Ghanaians benefiting from these things. I think it is very, very instructive in going forward. Beyond the usual politics that the minority is doing, I do not find anything constructive, except to say that by their forceful denial and fighting against bills of this nature, they only seek to create the impression that, one, they are not interested in the import substitution agenda that everybody in country has been saying, that over the period, we do import a lot of items from abroad. And that has been the bane on our local currency. It has been the main reason why we've been experiencing exchange rate fluctuations, except to say that the minority is not interested in us having local industries thriving and ensuring that we are able to create a lot more jobs for the Ghanaian people. Otherwise, they will not be fighting the bill in Parliament that seeks to restrict, not to completely ban, but to restrict the importation of 22 items so that by extension we'll be able to support our local industries to grow. And of course, when you look at all these foreign direct investments that they are fighting, better said than done.
Okay. Richard.
KMG, minority intention to kick against 7 billion tax waiver. And then my good brother, Manasseh, is thinking that we are against foreign direct investment. If you care to know, the ranking member of Trade and Industry, Yusuf Suleimana, who is a member of Parliament for Bole Bamboy, who came out with this communique, was the CEO of Edith, today Exim Bank. So he understands, let me tell you, he even initiated the Exim Bank today, that you have given the huge amount of money to the chronics. those days, Exim Bank, Ezoku, and all those SMEs have come together to build Exim Bank. So Exim Bank is mainly for importation and exportation support. You know that. So such person talking about 7 billion tax waiver, you should know that he understands better than even the trade minister himself. He's a ranking member in Parliament on Trade and Industry. And we are saying that we are in a difficult times. The government of Ghana, the NPP government, told us that we're moving from taxation to production economy. And then taxation is a lazy man approach. And we all agree, myself, all of us agree that let us pass the tax waivers bill in this country. You mentioned that. If we should mention it, we are in this country. State Housing Corporation gave a tax waiver of 21 billion to the president's brother-in-law to go and build a hotel. We raise that. We argue on this issue in this country. Nobody talks about it. If you say we should mention names, these are names we are saying. You turn around and tell us that you need a tax rate of over 7 billion for 1D, 1F. This is not foreign direct investment issue we are talking about. KMG, are you getting it? There's a difference between foreign direct investment and 1D, 1F. You know, KMG, that we as a country, when we have our free zone enclaves, when investors come and want to invest in the free zone enclaves, what they do is that they write to GRA. After the GRA go to do inspection and see that your structures has met the standardization, we involve Ghana Fire Service and the business operating permit from the district assemblies. From there, we quickly give you an ICU number. It's not true. We'll give you an ICU number, and with that ICU number, you get a direct tax waive from government of Ghana so that you can go to the free zone enclaves and then start your business and employ the ordinary Ghanaian. And even in exportation, there's a percentage the government of Ghana enjoy. That is why we set up a free zone authority. And you see the free zone structure the President John Dramani Mahama built just at Cantonment, close to the Vice President's residence. So we are never against foreign investment. We have the people who have been supported, and we even put it and strengthened the icons in the Ghana Revenue Authority. And that has been, that is done. You talk about equipment, bringing equipment into this country. You know, KMG, any equipment that comes to this country that pertaining to agric or constructions, there's already a tax waiver on it. You agree on that these are policies and programs President John Dramani Mahama has brought in, and everybody's enjoying it. Can you go to free zone enclaves in this country? If you don't even know, let me just tell you, if you are going to from Asukuma Junction to Kwebe, the largest plantain farm in Africa, in West Africa, is in that area. We granted a tax waiver for the agriculture sector for the month, Red Plus or something, to put up that decision. And it gives us $90 million per annum from this country. And it employs over 20,000 youth, direct and indirect jobs in plantation. If you go to the Western world today in Europe, we in Ghana with the free zone enclaves produce 90% of the plantain chips and plantain in Europe.
So why is the minority?
You go to a place like Asuchari, the banana factory in Asuchari, that has been a free zone enclave. It's given government of Ghana a lot of money. And we are not against any direct or indirect investment that will that will give profit, that will make an ordinary Ghanaian and get profit. We are saying that the 7 billion, 1D1F, that we are saying that we are going to give tax waiver to them. And besides, apart from that, there's another 5.5 million lying at the Ministry of Finance. So you are telling us that you need about 12.5 billion Ghana city tax exemption just for this year for the purpose of 1D1F. Bring up the companies. That's what we are saying. Companies that want that 1D1F, that want the tax waiver, bring the list. Let's have it. You don't have any list. And we are saying you are imposing taxes. As I'm talking to you now, this government from 2017 to date has imposed 50 taxes on us. 50 taxes.
Even the current.
Even the current.
Ask him to list it. He's lying.
The current 2024 budget.
Tax.
The current 2024 budget. If you look at the tax imposed on us, it's about 11 billion. 11 billion tax imposed on us. Then you want 12 billion to give it to somebody free. KMG, how does that make sense to an ordinary person? And that's why we're saying we're going to kick against this. KMG, do you know this government? Have you read about the eco tax? 100 Ghana eco tax on car owners. Every car owner, whether a car is big or small, whatever it is, you are paying this. But
the government seeks to justify that, and the reason why they need those taxes.
No, but KMG, you know that the UN and AU, I think UN and AU are starting to be corrected because our Ramsar site in this country give us huge amount of money for carbon. You know that. And we have a lot allocated from the international community because of, Ghana has about 50 Ramsar sites in this country, Ramsar sites in this country. That's, some of them have now been sold to their people for buildings. You remember that we did that debate in this country. And we are imposing an eco tax on us that even if I use a Vitz car, I'm paying 100 Ghana cedi. And you using a V8, Vanassis V8, Vanassis is paying the same 100 Ghana cedi.
Richard, I don't use a V8.
You understand? So you are imposing burden on an ordinary person in this country, imposing tax on people in this country. Meanwhile, you turn around. That you told us that you are finished with the 1D1F and it's all operational. Didn't Manasseh told us here on this platform that all the 1D1F is operational in this country today and they employ so many jobs?
Who mentioned?
Didn't the president himself say that the 1D1F is operational across the country today? Didn't the Minister of Trade and Industry told us that the 1D1F is operational in this country? Why then do you turn around to come and tell us that you want 7 billion tax exemptions? And we are saying that, tell us the names, give us the companies that want tax exemptions. Or else it's assumed that you are giving to family, and if you care to know, and friends as well. That is our concern. We are not against anything. You told us 1D1F is built People are working already. Factories are running 24-hour economy in one day.
All the others that you mentioned during
Yes.
your time.
Yes.
All the tax waivers you mentioned during your time.
Yes.
Did you present names to the opposition?
That's what I'm telling you, that the tax waivers we gave to companies. Let me just do something like that.
No, so did you make a list and give to the opposition? At
You
the time
lay
that
up.
we want to put tax waivers on the police?
when you are putting you are sending a tax waiver to Parliament, you specify the company, its duty, the role, what it's going to do.
And I'm asking, is that what the
That
NDC
is what is done in Parliament. So the
So
NDC,
did you do that at
we
the time?
did that before that. As I'm talking to you now, government of Ghana, under this MPP, we've granted tax waiver about 25 billion. We never complain about that. We call on tax waiver bill. You know that. I have always called that. Look, if you look at the companies that even come to this country, the foreign companies that come to this country and come out with a tax, even if like mining companies, come here and they give them tax waiver. When they finish, they do capital flight. And at the end of the day, they send the money away. You see that now we are not chasing they take the dollars away. Now we go about chasing dollars and see that the CD depreciation is unstable. Like, he knows better, he can explain better in that one. Me, I'm not an economist. He understands better. So our concern is not about making sure that investors doesn't come to the country. We have supported investment in this country. We have supported investors coming to this country. That is why we even set up an Exim Bank. The Exim Bank is to make sure that the local producers get funds to be able to manage into this. In agriculture, every sector of our economy, we have packages for them. So the 7 billion and 5.5 billion, it is for Chronic family and friends to bring in their goods and services and tell us that they are going to invest into factories that you told us that the factories already existed. The tax burden is too much in this country. So if you think that you want to give free money to people, why don't you invest those monies into the ordinary person? Do you know the number of people that pay tax today? The tomato seller, look at your back here. When I walk, I saw a young lady pushing this wheelbarrow, selling coconut, paying tax to us. And you pay tax to the president, and you can go and chop it, and then turn around and give money to an elite. Then elite now use the money for he himself. That is what we are imposing on.
Okay.
Kemji, let us feel pity for a young woman.
Your last.
Kemji, I say what we are saying that let's feel pity for a young woman who's selling cocoa here and pay tax. A white seller who woke up at 2 a.m. and pay tax. And a young a Mokola woman who woke up and drank trotro is still in traffic and pay tax. And make sure that we use their money well. And so if there's another opportunity for us to gather revenue, we need revenue to build this country. We are told that we are broke. And we are running a budget deficit in 2024, which you are aware, which is aware. So why do you give this money to family and friends just to go and use it for their own businesses and then say what? That's so bad. He mentioned that we put ban on frozen meat. Let me just clear that one. We never put ban on frozen meat.
I said restrictions.
Restrictions on...
Yes.
What
I
we
never
did
said ban.
What we did is that, you recall, the Food and Drug Authority and the Ghana Standard Authority said that the turkey back, you remember, was unhealthy to the consumption of ordinary Ghanaian. And that was the only thing that we regretted. So why do you sit here and say we put restrictions on frozen food and those things?
This Dream World Ghana is presenting a Fear Live in concert on the 23rd of December at the Accra International Conference Center. Myself and my friends over here will be coming through, and so do well to also come and let's jam to beautiful music made right here in Ghana. And it's going to be at the Accra International Conference Center. The tickets, you can get them 200 cedis. VIP is 350. Regular is 200 cedis. And the VVIP is 500. So it's regular is 200. If you want the VIP, it's 350. And the VVIP is 500 Ghana cedis. So please do well. Dial *714 *600 # to buy your tickets and meet us at the Accra International Conference Center. If you're live in concert, it's going to be an experience of a lifetime. You don't want to miss it, so please do well and come through. Media partners, Joy FM and Joy Prime, and Live Connect and Game Gams Entertainment is partnering with this as well. So please, for tickets, do call 050-8856-200, or you can also call 0244745302 and grab your tickets. And our very own Afia Asantewa is engaging in a sing-a-thon, and it's all in the name of putting Ghana on the map in the Guinness Book of Records, and we all want to be there to support. It's starting on the 24th of December to the 27th, plus over 9 hours that she'll be doing some singing of Ghanaian music. And so please do well. It's the Akwaba Village Airport. That's where all the action will be. So kindly go there within this period and support her. Your presence will mean a lot to her. So please, let's all make it a point to be there. It's the sing-a-thon, and we're looking forward to, breaking that record. Indeed, it's going to happen. All right, so that's what it is. Now, let's get back and deal with our very last issue, and then we're done for the day. So, Mahama is still, in the process of making everybody understand that the 24-hour economy is something that is possible. The NPP believes that it's already in existence. He's also head back again and says that, well, it's not happening the way he wants it to happen. He's looking at a situation or a system where every Ghanaian, every institution is part of this, and we're all helping to make it, even better. But I said, I'm sure the NPP will still going to insist that it's something that is already running away.
KMJ, I want to state categorically that the 7 billion tax waiver that is on the table of the Ministry of Trade and Industry has nothing to do with friends and cronies. And you see, we don't have short memory. Richard, maybe during that time you had traveled, but in 2014, when Dr. Hannah Bissue was the Deputy Minister for Food and Agric, if you've forgotten, then don't forget your candidate has mentioned Ghanaians have short memory. So I suspect,
Dr. Hannah Bissue was not the Minister of Food and Agric.
She was the Deputy Minister. I never said Minister. I said Deputy Minister for Food and Agric.
Very well.
You place the restriction on the importation of frozen food, and so should you be an importer and should you intend to import frozen meat, you would have to go for an authorization from her. I'm telling you, you can go and check.
I was in the business by then.
It is
that's the
very
business I've been doing.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he has forgotten. Richard has short memory. As has been said of him by the former president. So Richard, this is not the first time we are doing this. And it has to be stated clearly that as it relates to the 1:1 factory, no one has said, not even the president.
I thought you were talking about 24
Hold on. Well, yeah, I need to.
We have 6 minutes to do this. If we're not able to exhaust it with this.
Not a problem. The president never said that all the factories are running. We have about 128 or so of them running, and we have some of them that are newly built factories, all right? And we have some that are existing factories that government had to support to ensure they're able to work to full operational capacity. And so that has to be stated clearly. And KMJ, on the issue of what the former president is saying he intends to do, that's the biggest scam alert of the century. And yes, I'm telling you, scam alert. And don't forget that he has been president before. That's the caveat. When he was there, someone who couldn't manage the economy for 8 hours, even 8 hours. And now, what is he promising? Don't forget that when the vice president, at a point in time, realized that given what he intends to do, it will be very, very expedient on government to ensure that we invest a lot more in digitalization. What didn't the NDC say? They were saying a whole lot of unsubstantiated, palpable lies to the effect that the vice president is now championing digitalization. It tells you how bereft they were as it relates to the economy and digitalization. Today, you cannot differentiate the economy from digitalization. And today, you are saying you do something that is already existent. Today, a lot of businesses are operating 24 hours. Today, at the comfort of my home, when I experience, or when my credit is out, I don't have to step out to go and look for any electricity vendor to buy prepaid. I just will have to take my phone, and because of the mobile money interoperability,
not everybody is able to do that.
Because of the mobile money,
not everybody is able to do that.
Because of the mobile money interoperability that the vice president has done, of which the NDC sought to do with $1.2 billion, 1.2 billion US. We used just 4 million. So I don't know what went into their reasoning when they sought to do this with 1.2 billion. Maybe they wanted to shortchange the government. We'll have to judge for ourselves. And it tells you, because of the significant gains we have made, even with the mobile money interoperability, together with what we have done at ECG, today at the comfort of your homes, when you are using a prepaid meter, and you run out of credit, you don't have to step out of your home. And these services run 24 hours.
Some of the meters don't have that.
I'm saying prepaid. I didn't say
need
postpaid. And I said prepaid. Right. So 24 hours. Today, when you look at most of the businesses, the private sector businesses, most of them are running 24-hour business because they're able to advertise their products online. All right. Today, when you look at the critical government services, the police service, the even hospitals, hotels, security services, and all of that, most of these institutions, critical services, are running 24-hour system already. When you look at the critical manufacturing and productive industries in country, where they have high demand for their products, most of them are running shift system. And when the former president was pushed, what did he say? He said, oh, as for this thing, it is voluntary for the private sector. For the private sector, it's not by force. And now when people are raising objective criticism to what he seeks to do, he's now hitting back at them. Because he is not tolerant. Same president, when he was being criticized by Ghanaians, what did he say? He said, you've not been president before, so don't criticize me. And who tells you you would have to be a president before you criticize a president? Same person, when he was being criticized, when Ghanaian youth were crying on him for him to create the enabling environment for them to be employed, what did he say to the youth? In their faces, he told them, my friend, I'm not a magician to do conjectures for you to have job. And you find one of his MPs, who was even a minister back then, telling the youth that they are lazy and that it is very easy for them to just enter into the bush, gather some stones or even, grasses, and they can even sell that. Can you imagine? Same person, when workers were crying on him, that we beg you, the economy is tough. And don't forget the Ghanaian economy back then under the same former president. Under his time, inflation was double digits without any external shock. Under his time, go and check the growth rate records. Very, very poor. Under his, even before he became president, when he was vice president, President Mills of blessed memory did not find him competent enough to involve him in the economic advisory team. He did not find him to be competent. And it manifested when he took over as president. After we had gained high volumes of economic growth of around 14% or so in 2011. Go and check his record in 2013, 14, 15, and 16. Recording GDP growth rate of 2.1%, 2.9%, 3.4%. He just couldn't manage the Ghanaian economy. Then we talk of what he did to us during the Doomsday period, plunging the nation into darkness. He couldn't keep the light on for 8 hours. We were shedding power. And today, because Ghanaians have short memory, as has been said of him, he's saying things he's very much aware he cannot do. And these are things that are happening already. We are already enjoying the significant strides of various businesses, industries running on shift systems. And so he's not saying anything new. He's only trying to deceive the youth. And when he was pushed, he then had to issue a caveat. As for private sector, you are not part. He cannot take it when people are raising constructive criticisms on his policies.
Okay.
And that is evident in what the minority always does.
Richard.
PMG, I just wanted to do something brief for me.
It's about the conversation. Because we need
about the conversation.
I just wrap up in a couple.
This is from where? Yango what?
Yango delivery.
Okay, so just look at it. so you just read them.
So I have to read what it says.
Yes.
There's a package for you. The courier will bring the order straight to your door. Track the order status here. Your order has been delivered. Yeah. Download Yango app to send packages with delivery.
That was yesterday. I just bought something yesterday. Okay. So digitalization is good. But the courier, does it come with digitalization?
Doesn't it?
Has the courier come with digitalization?
Doesn't it?
Somebody, a rider or an Uber, a Yango driver, must drive.
No, so how
where
did you...
I bought the items.
No, so to engage the services
and
of
bring it
the
to my
courier.
doorstep.
So, Richard, how were you able to get in touch with them?
So when you say...
through digitalization?
When you say digitalization is a drive of economy.
Richard,
fine, I understand.
how did you get in touch with the person who is selling
it? It lowers productivity. Okay? But at the time I bought the items, somebody must bring it to me, even if it is midnight.
Richard, before you buy the items, you have to engage the person through digitalization.
That's what I'm saying. That.
Why are you ignoring that?
Once the company is producing in the night. I want to buy something in that night. When I buy,
how do you buy it?
I can buy it online.
Exactly, and that is digitalization.
That is
Don't
why,
you know that?
No, hold on. That is why we thought it wise. Then we build a digital center. Okay, and so we make sure that the digitalization and the digitalization, there are two disparities, you know that. So we build out the fiber optic lines, so make sure that we build the base of the IT system. So the point I'm trying to build is that even if you are even using the digitalization to buy something, you need a courier service to bring it to you, don't you?
Is it not part of the system that runs?
No, it's part of the system. So we are talking about.
So in essence, what are you saying? You're saying that
we are talking about 24-hour economy, and he is saying that the only way to drive the 24-hour economy.
Who said that?
No, that's what he said.
So you complete it.
So I'm saying that yes, you can buy. There are so many things you can buy online. But even when you buy online, somebody must deliver to you.
It's the only way you get the item you've bought, right?
Yes.
That is if the company you're buying from does not have a delivery service. Another person can pick it up.
Oh, no. So this is.
Or are you talking about the same person? This is the delivery that brought it to you.
This is the delivery
you bought it from somewhere. Somebody,
yes. So
it's not part of the system, the chain that runs that 24-hour economy.
So now, this is the way to drive. But so now, MPP
Richard, you are
hold on. The MPP are just now trying to say that.
Acknowledge the essence of digitalization.
Oh, listen.
That is it.
The MPP are not trying to say that. It's former president, how do I even call him? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. That now has built Yango, has built Uber, has built Facebook, has built YouTube, has built WhatsApp. And these are the things they are talking about.
Richard, what's your understanding
These
of
are measures.
I'm not sure anybody means.
No, but that's what I said. They say he's the one for digitalization. Digitalization. And all the apps in this country has been downloaded by him. All those things, all the ICT centers have been built by him. See, the point is that we are not to respond to all this kind of their malice and their uninformed policy President John Dramani Mahama is bringing. But we have a responsibility. Our responsibility is that we are bringing policy and programs that will make sure come after 7th January 2025, ordinary Ghanaian, that is called Ayele, the ordinary Ghanaian that is called Nakuja, an ordinary Ghanaian that is called Kuku, and ordinary Ghanaian that is called Atabwehi, and Atabwedi will get a job to do. So when we say 24-hour economy, what we say is that Ejumankwa. We have done it before. President John Dramani Mahama have admitted that there are some factories, there are some
he has
private
done
sector.
What before? He has created job opportunities for the youth before.
President,
we don't have short memory. The same person couldn't create
I think
job for the youth.
You and I has a very good relation when it comes to this in place.
No, but Richard, be factual.
There's no time.
He has not done anything before.
There's no time. Let me.
He has not done that before.
So what we did was that when you recalled before President Obama exited office, we thought it wise that the pharmaceutical industries were not running well. They lack financial support to be able to run. We released about $25 million to some of the pharmaceutical industries, Danadams, Pokopharma, and all those.
What was that under? It was a gift, it was a grant?
No, it was a grant to support the private sector so that they can run. Because what we realized is that we
by way of
no, please.
By way of
we were importing.
They are complaining.
We realized that
you see the double standard.
We were importing most of the antiretrovirus HIV vaccines in this country, and that was costing us a lot. So President John Dramani,
we have a lot of these same factories seeking
President John
to
Dramani
get
Mahama
tax waivers from
released about 25
and you are
million.
fighting them. Meanwhile, you did say
President John Dramani Mahama
under your administration
released about 25 million Ghana cedi to support those industries. And those industries today, as I'm talking to you now, is running a 24-hour economy. So the 24-hour economy we are talking about is that we are going to make sure that private sectors who are ready to sign it into will sign it. Then it will give you tax incentives. Then
the same tax waivers.
Tax waivers is different from tax incentives. No, hold on.
Tax incentives.
Tax incentives is different from tax waivers. You know. So what?
It tells you they are double standardness. KMJ.
Manasseh, let me finish.
There are two double standards.
Let me explain that. So
what do you mean? So KMJ, what we are
tax incentives?
So KMJ, what we are saying is that 24-hour economy is about 3-shift economy that we're going to run. So those people, by 10 o'clock in the evening, you agreed with me that everybody will go to sleep. And our energy sector is waste. Nobody is using the energy there. So all the private sector that are ready to sign into 24-hour economy, we are going to give them a smart method that is called time of use tariffs. And this time of use tariffs, when you are running, most of the major problem in this country with our private sectors is that the utility bills are quite higher. So sometimes they will not be able to pay much of the utility bills and the taxes they pay. So what we are saying is that we're going to give a time of use tariffs. The time of use tariffs, what it means is that in the night, the utility that you pay for 10 Ghana cedi is now going to be like maybe 2 Ghana cedi because it is waste in the night. That is what we call excess power, excess capacity, excess
Will that not be a burden on the government?
No, it's not going to be because it's a waste already that is down there. So that's why they brought take or pay.
The energy sector is already struggling. Because
we're going to strengthen it.
If somebody is supposed to pay 10 cedis for this because you want to... do you have a robust economy to be able to sustain that? That's what I'm saying. So if you're giving the person 2 cedis from the 10 cedis, the 8 cedis, who is going to pay for that?
So what is the essence of leaving a power from 10 o'clock to 6 a.m. and it is waste?
But if you don't have the capacity to sustain,
and you pay for,
it's better.
But do you know you pay for?
No,
but I'm just asking you.
Yes,
but we have a fixed movement. As I'm talking to you now, everybody is using electricity. Because from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, people want to iron and go to work. People want to watch television. People want to use their fridges. People want to... For after 10 o'clock, everybody is at work. You understand? Then you see that that was not a peak month. So we are talking about that. Then we'll give them a tax incentive. Then we'll make sure that we reduce the utility bill for so they can be able to employ more. And what we are saying is that when you are a young man, that you are under 40 years, you establish a company and you sign up into 24-hour economy, we are telling you that we're going to give you a tax-free so that at that time you'll be able to employ money and run the economy very well. And so we are looking at other areas in the government sectors where there's traffic, human traffic. You go to a place like DVLA, KMG, you're at work right now, you have to leave and go to DVLA and go and renew your DVLA, your license. You go to Food and Drug Authority, BEF and DEF, you go to places like Register General Department. So all these sectors, we are going to run a 24-hour economy so that it will reduce productivity, then make sure that at that time, everybody will have access to it. And I've already made an example to a place like, let's use a place like Accra Mall. By 10 o'clock, by 9:10, Accra Mall is closed. And everybody is rushing to go and buy. You go there, the place is closed, you don't get, so at that time, you see a choke traffic. We are saying that if they sign into the 24-hour economy, you look at the number of people that are working in Accra Mall, about maybe 500. That means you are going to employ another 1,000 people in addition to that. So every sector, you go to a place like the port. At the port now, by 5 o'clock, the port is closed. You go to the port, it's closed. Apart from the MPS that President John Dramani Mahama did that run 24-hour economy. So whilst the port is, you can even clear your goods in the night, it eats traffic along the route. You know, at dawn, there are a lot of accident cases that happen because of the heavy trucks. It is traffic. And the banks must also operate at the port for 24 hours. With that, we are also told that the security services, at night, they use only 30% of it. So in the night, we will be able to deploy. Yes.
Only 30%.
But that is used in the night. The 70%. No. Let's use an example.
From which
Richard,
data?
No, see, what data gave you that?
It is clear.
30%.
It is clear. We have also consulted.
It's clear by your own imagination.
We have also consulted by
facts or data.
It's more than that.
The police.
How can you say the entire police
security service?
I mean, in the night. Yes.
Yes.
How?
Who tells you that?
The police responds to activities that is available.
There are patrols almost everywhere.
I told you. I say all the police, entire police.
Now, Richard, you are telling me that the whole country in the night it's only 30%.
I am talking about
or the security institution that is working. Are you serious?
I am not saying they are not working.
No, I'm also not saying you say they are not working. I'm saying you say they are working.
When you move here.
Yeah.
Just here, the traffic light here. You see about 5 police officers standing there. But in the night, you see only 1.
It doesn't account for the percentage.
It counts. So the problem.
You're talking about the entire country.
You are looking at.
You're looking at only multimedia here.
Don't look at the holistic.
Or maybe Accra.
Don't look at the holistic aspect.
No, but that's how we're supposed to look at it.
What I'm
it's the only way we'll be able to make
to put in the context for you to understand. You understand the number of police officers that operate in the daytime. It's not the same number that operate in the night.
So just say it's about. If you say it's 30%, you're making it look like it's a fact
to put in the
context by data.
That's what I'm saying.
And it makes
Richard is always lying like this.
To put in the context for you to understand. So what we are saying is that we are going to strengthen the security service. So when the port is running in the night, and the airport is running at night, the Ghana immigration, we need to recruit more. You understand? At the port, you need more custom officers to operate the port. At the police, in disadvantaged areas where we are running the 24-hour economy, there will be police present, because when there's insecurity, people will not like to come out and patronize goods and services. So with that, it will bring more jobs, create more jobs. It will double the jobs of the employment sector. That will lessen the burden of the unemployment rate. Maybe it cannot be totally eradicated, though, but it will lessen the burden of unemployment rate. But you see, I've mentioned the places. If you look at a place like the Savannah cement sector, that ran 24-hour economy, that was established by the foreign company supported by President John Dramani Mahama and the government of Ghana by then. It ran 24-hour economy. If you go there, it employed about 500 day, 500 afternoon, 500. And then these are things that program and projects that we have seen. It's visible,
so it's
and
running,
we have done it before.
Something that it's running right now.
There's something that's running right now. There are so many.
So the NPP is right when they say.
So the NPP is no. We are not saying, but President John Mahama didn't even say that it is not running. We are saying that even companies we supported before we left power, it's running. The trouble gas is running 24-hour economy, is it not? Commercial Central Market is running 24-hour economy. Then we build it. So we are going to make sure that
Makola is not running.
We decentralize all those sectors and private companies that will sign onto the 24-hour economy and the public sector that we know that there's human traffic there. And there will be employment for every ordinary Ghanaian to do. And this is what the MPP doesn't understand. And Dr. Bawumia will tell you that jobbers are already running. Because jobbers are already running, there's 24-hour economy. You don't have a policy. Apart from Untumi bringing the policy. Anyway, I understand them. Chairman Untumi brought the policy of the MPP and Dr. Bawumia's government. I don't know whether I heard it.
Which policy?
Well, he said when Dr. Bawumia became a president, they are going to go to World Cup and then they will come second.
Richard, stop it.
No, he said it.
Stop it right there.
No, he said it. No, he said it.
How's that a policy?
No, that's their policy. That is their policy. I mean, you don't have a policy.
Even you.
You have less than 12 months. You have less than 12 months to go to elections. You have no policy. You mentioned blue economy. And you realize that the blue economy has already done by President John Dramani Mahama and the World Bank. You ran away from there. So you have no single policy. All your policy is that you are going to build toilets.
But Untumi does not communicate for the
he's an
Untumi. He doesn't communicate for the president.
Untumi
and the vice president today anywhere the vice president Untumi is there.
He doesn't make him a communication minister.
He is not in charge of our policies.
He has even been installed as a chief in the president's hometown.
Richard, he is not in charge.
He's doing for Dr.
But doesn't make him a spokesperson for the president.
But he said that he mounted the platform. They went to the northern region. Okay, and he mounted the platform.
Richard, don't waste that time.
Just like any other member of the party will be allowed to speak based on his capacity at the time. It doesn't make.
They said chairman, Ashanti regional chairman, the World Bank of the MPP, that the Afafronto is breaking, want to talk so that they should listen. They have a good message for you. And then you stood there and said, Toboy, they said, yay. They said, and the Northerners will vote for
I don't think we have time for frivolities.
No. They said the Northerners will vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And when you vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, they are going to go for World Cup and they become second. And they campaign for him.
And who tells you this is an economic policy?
Those are the policies.
Who tells you this is an economic policy?
So bring your policies. We are saying that.
This is not an economic policy.
Do we have some comments?
You have shot yourself in
the foot. We are saying that we are bringing 24-hour economy.
Yet you are fighting government on this.
We are saying we are bringing 24-hour economy. We are bringing the big push program. We are bringing national apprenticeship program. We are making sure that we wage war on corruption. We brought so many policies and programs that we are bringing.
When you were in power, what were you able to do?
We are counting down the ministers of...
When you were in power, what were you able to do? Don't mention corruption.
The 200 ministers of...
Richard, when you were in power, what were you able to do? What employment opportunities were you able to create for the youth?
You are also saying that we are bringing office of the value for money.
What did you do? He wasn't able to do anything. Richard, you have just 2 minutes to finish.
We are saying that we are bringing office of setting up office of value for money to make sure that every contract that is awarded in this country in less than 5 million, in more than $5 million will be regulated in partnership with Public Procurement Authority because we know what happens there. We are also saying that we are building 6 new universities. And these 16 new universities are going to be technical and vocational-based universities. We are going to draw from the theoretical economy to a practical economy and industrial economy. And we are moving Ministry of Agri from Ministry of Agri to Ministry of Agri and agri-business so that we strengthen the agri-processing business and industrialized agriculture. And then from there, we are also making sure that all the 6 new created regions, we are putting our regional hospitals there and dualize all the roads to the regional capitals in this country. And it is possible we are going to do all those things under President John Dramani Mahama. So if you have a policy, you have a World Cup policy, and then we are waiting for your World Cup policy, we are bringing 24-hour economy, we are putting up industries, we are moving into the agriculture industry, we are moving to all sectors of agriculture. And President John Dramani Mahama is capable. You know what he has done before as a president. Go and check. Today, you said you want to make the hub of healthcare in Ghana because of Agenda 111. Forgotten that the quaternary hospital, the only quaternary hospital in Africa is in Ghana, Legon Hospital. Legon Hospital, built by President John Dramani Mahama, the best in Africa. They don't have one. Apart from the Mayor Hospital in the United States of America, this is the only one we have in the world so we can boast on. We are saying that the Maritime Hospital today, its referral center is not only in Ghana, across the globe.
Okay.
President Dramani Mahama has built it.
Yeah,
so these are programs and policies. These are things we have done. So we are waiting for the World Cup second round. But I'm going to make policy. You are ready.
So KMJ, today, Richard has exposed himself
to what?
And his party.
Are you discovering? I'm not.
Yes. So you shot yourself in your own foot.
That is your judgment.
Why?
I'm talking to the public.
Hold on.
You.
Why?
So,
because you mentioned that you seek to grant tax waivers.
I didn't say tax waivers.
Tax waivers.
Tax incentives.
And tax incentives.
Yes.
All these are very critical.
Yes.
All these are very critical as it
waiver?
relates to setting up businesses, whether it is being set up by indigenous Ghanaians or even by foreigners. And so conversations around tax waivers and tax incentives are very, very critical. The same thing you are saying you will bring. Today, government is ensuring that we are able to have conversations with investors to ensure we are able to grant them some tax holidays. And the same NDC is fighting it. So it tells you the double standard.
Tax holidays is not tax waiver. Richard, don't let him mislead them. I won't get you.
No, Richard, but you
tells you the double standard.
Tax holidays.
What you're doing is
not tax holidays are not tax incentives.
He never said that.
Please take tax holidays.
No.
We are talking about tax.
Richard, allow him to finish.
No, let him deal with the tax waivers issue.
Richard, allow him to finish.
You shouldn't mislead the public.
You're not being fair. You're not being fair.
You know, I'm a very fair person.
I'm not. Don't let me begin to think that NDC is not.
No, okay, don't do that. So make me keep quiet.
Keep quiet.
So KMJ, I come again and I mentioned that Richard, you've exposed yourself and your party that you are inconsistent in your policy directives. On one breath, you are fighting government because government seeks to grant some tax holidays to business people, even local businesses. And don't forget that this tax waiver that is on the table, it has a lot of local people without any political callous. And today the NDC is fighting it. Meanwhile, he is sitting here and he's saying that when they come, they will grant tax holidays. Inconsistency. And it tells you they don't even have Ghanaians at heart. And so today, if you're a Ghanaian and you seek to set up a business, and of course you would need help from government by way of, tax holidays and all of that, he is saying that government shouldn't allow you that. And that is not the focus of government. For us, we are interested in ensuring that we have a lot more factories and industries being set up so that we'll be able to engage and employ a lot more of the Ghanaian youth. But for them, they are not interested in the employment opportunities that government seeks to create. And Richard, what are you saying? You are saying that you have now risen through and you are telling us that you would now set up Office of the Value for Money. When you were in power from 2013 to 2016, what did you
Corruption
do?
was not like this.
Who tells you?
Corruption was not like this. That was the problem.
Even
procurement authority, what happened there?
Who tells you?
Your procurement authority.
A lot of corruption syndicates.
No,
you think we have short memory.
You are doing it
we don't have short memory. All the SADA issues, the JIDA issues, the BAS branding scandal, and the Ford bribes and all of that. These are things we've not forgotten.
What happened to it?
There were a lot of corruption incidents under your time, and you did nothing. You are now telling us that we should vote for you to come and correct your mess. And KMJ, he mentioned one instructive thing. He said, yes, former president, we know him for what he has done. It is very true. Ghanaians will always remember former president Mahama for doom so. That is the only thing. You mentioned President Kufuor. You remember NHIs. You mentioned President Akufo-Addo, free SHS. You mentioned former President Mahama. It's all about doom so. It's all about him insulting the youth. That he's not a magician to create job opportunities for them. It is funny. It's all about him saying that we should vote for him to come and correct his mistakes.
When you
full of mistakes.
It is funny.
Full of mistakes. And who should vote for him to come and correct one? He's known for doom so. We will never. Yes, I was in Lagos. We were writing exams and IA in 20. I will never forget this. The Lagos experience.
Listen,
KMJ, unfortunately, on Saturdays and Sundays that we have IAs, that were the times I like to go. Doom so, I will never forget it. Doom so, when I was at Lagos.
Gentlemen, this is a disrespect to our viewers, and I don't want us to continue. Yes. Yeah, so let's not. Richard, you especially keep quiet. you had your time. Let's take some views from our viewers. Now, this one says, "Good morning, my brother. Please let Manasseh know that he's a young man who should know the difference between the lies and truth. And the truth is, if the products are not produced, how can the online salesperson get its products? Please, we need the 24 hours to work." When the former president was asked how he will handle the security situation, he said he will enlist more personnel to boost the security situation, and that is what we need. And by the way, let us choose between the two persons present to us, and we will make our choice. Okay, that's Stan from Adenta. This one says, "Please ask Manasseh the background of digitalization. For his information, the online passport acquisition was launched by Honorable Hannah Tete, former Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the President John Dramani Mahama. The 800-kilometer fiber optic cable that passes through 124 communities and 20 districts is the brain behind the digitalization. The Accra Digital Center was also built to digitalize Ghanaian economy. Digitalization was already put in place before NPP came to government. I challenge Manasseh to tell us how they came about the digitalization. 24-hour economy is the best way to go. After announcing the 24-hour economy, I saw a letter from GRA asking some institutions to extend their working hours. That's 24-hour economy." Thank you, Richard Manube, for education, the government, for educating the government spokesperson on the economy who has resulted in speaking big English and not economics. Hi, KMJ, please tell the NPP man that you cannot use your phone to buy credit on all prepaid meters because they haven't changed all the old prepaid to the new ones yet. I mentioned that. We'll get there. This one over here says, KMJ, 24-hour economy is based on demand for goods and services. For JM to say he would implement 24-hour economy necessarily must be linked to demand. If the NDC opposes restrictions on imported items so that we can grow local factories, how will 24-hour economy be achieved? All right, so those are some of your messages. This one over here says that we were in this country when John Mahama dished out millions of dollars to his brother Ibrahim Mahama and others as tax waivers. It is only credible people who comment on tax waivers. John Mahama and his party members lack a moral right to talk about tax waivers. Good morning to you, KMG, and to your panelists. Those people are killing our educational system just in the name of campaign promises, but we will not realize it now. I know some students who cannot even write their names so that they had placement. Why all this? Just because of party politics. It's like these people just take Ghanaians as second-class human beings. When you have burdened the people with more taxes, but rather turn around to grant your family and friends on tax waiver. Is this not an irony? But this reminds me for the popular saying, every day for the thief man, one day for the master. I know Ghanaians will surely punish them come 2024. My regards to incoming MP for Miom constituency, Alhaji Mispao Sumani Hamza sent in that one. This one says, good morning, Mr. DK. What the NDC man is saying is never true. I've done self-placement for so many students, but never taken any peswa from them. Free SHS is NDC nightmare. It's possible with Dr. Baumia to break 8 to save Ghanaians from resurrected dead goats. All right, so those are your messages over there. Without anyone that I can read, I'm sure we can move on and wrap it up for today. I'm not too sure if I can even give you some more time to wrap up, because when I do, it's going to turn into
It's not going to turn into
another battle of
But KMG, one of your
battle of exchange of words. So
one of your
on that note, we say
one of your
we say good morning.
One of your senators sent a very critical message, which I think that is necessary. The demand of the 24-hour economy. That's what President John Dramani Mahama is saying, that when the 24-hour economy implemented, all the MMDCs, ministries and agencies are going to patronize local products made by the 24-hour economy factories manufactured in this country. So we will meet up with the demand.
Who says they are not patronizing?
Pizza Man Chicken Man is giving a lot in our branches here in Accra and Kumasi. Please visit us. We've got some deals for this Christmas. You don't want to be left out. And so do well to pass by anytime and just enjoy the best we have for you this Christmas season. Ifya Santua is embarking on Sing-a-thon from the 24th to 27th. And some 9 hours in addition, and we all have to be there to support her. The venue will be at the Akwaba Village Airport, and that's where all the action will be. So please do well and go and lend your support to her. And our Christmas is also on. Please do send us a picture of your family, like Richard has already done. You know, beautiful family. You take a picture, you send it to us, and we'll take a look at it. If it makes a lot of sense, why not? We invite you. We'll ask you a few questions, you know, more like you and the other family just face off. And then we get to give you amazing prizes for you to also go and enjoy Christmas and New Year, all right? So send the messages to our WhatsApp line. And once we grab those, you know, beautiful pictures and all, we're going to announce those who are going to be in the competition. And then we get it going, all right? So that's the Joy Prime Quiz Mass.
Are you going to talk about it?
Who?
You're not inviting me and myself and Manasseh to the
I'm not going to talk about it.
Oh, but the masquerade thing you're talking about.
Oh, you want to go?
Yeah, Manasseh.
Manasseh Atabuahiri speaks for government on the governance and finance from the NPP. Richard Manrebe, National Communications Team Member for the NDC. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure always having you here. And thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next week, Thursday.
Very well.
Yeah, on News Flash again.